Hey, yo, say hello to the bad guy, Scott Hall. Check out The Bob Show right here or go to bobshow.net. Chico.
Hey, it's me, the mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart, and I always watch The Bob Show because it's number one, baby.
What's up? This is X-Pac from D-Generation X, and you're watching The Bob Show. And if you're not down with that, I got 2 words for you. Suck it!
Hey everybody, Bob McCarthy here for the 50 Legs charity fundraiser in Hudson, New Hampshire. This is one incredible event today, June 2nd. The bad guy, Scott Hall, is here. X-Pac, Sean Waltman, and WWE Hall of Famer Jimmy, the mouth of the South, Hart, are all here today, and we're going to talk to them right here at the 50 Legs charity fundraiser in Hudson, New Hampshire. So stay tuned for all of the action. Ladies and gentlemen, Bob McCarthy here for the 50 Legs charity fundraiser in Hudson, New Hampshire. I'm here with the founder, Steve Chamberlain, and the bad guy, Scott Hall. Steve, how did this event come about?
Man, my brother Randy Sylvester called me it was 2 months ago, and he calls me after the bombing, and he goes, hey man, we're going to have a charity for it. We're going to have a bike run / big barbecue / bouncy houses / everything for our kids. So I was like, man, whatever you got to do. I had my golf tournament yesterday up in Westfield, Mass. I called Scott, X-Pac, Jimmy Hart, and I was like, hey man, do you guys mind coming down for this? These guys came down here, no charge, no nothing, helped my charity out big time, man. I'm very blessed to have good friends like this. And, we're going to do this every year now. Now we're just going to blow this thing up.
This is incredible. We're here now with the man that changed the face of professional wrestling, the bad guy, the future Hall of Famer, the one and only Scott Hall. Scott, how's it like being back here in New Hampshire?
Hey, yo. I feel great, man. I've been going through a little drama myself, but I learned a long time ago that to those that much is given, much is required. So I've been going through some stuff, and this is the first time I've left the house in a long time, but Steve's got a really legit, valid charity going on here. He's changing lives. So when I heard that I had an opportunity to be a part of it, man, I jumped at it. He's got something great going on here. And like he mentioned, this is just the beginning. This is the beginning. This thing's going to grow and grow. And Steve's committed, basically his life to helping people who need help. And anytime I can help out, I'll be here. I love this part of the country.
Steve, you're like a superhero, what you're doing for these people. It is incredible. You're changing their life for the better, and you're giving them a second chance to become an athlete. What can people do to find out about this event? Can they go to the website? Where can they find out about this?
Yeah, man, you can always go on 50legs.org, check out what we're doing, our next charity events, everything going on. We got a lot of good stuff going on. Scott just hooked us up with this big thing in Miami coming up real soon. I'm blessed to have good brothers like this, man. And we got Hulkster involved, Jimmy Hart, like I said, man. We get the biggest names in wrestling here today. I've got Scott Hall, Jimmy Hart, X-Pac. Come on, man. Who wasn't better than the NWO and the D-Generation X and all these guys, man? It's the best, man. It's good, man. This is going to blow up. Every year is going to get bigger and bigger.
Your career has been incredible, Scott. What is some of the greatest moments? What can you define as one moment that sends your mind as the greatest moment where you knew that you made it from the AWA to WWE to NWO? What event do you look back on? There's so many, right?
Do you do voiceovers, bro? He's like really excited, right? No, for me, man, I'm satisfied with what happened in my ring career, and I'm trying to move on the other side of the camera now, and use my creative ability in that way. And I have a son now, Cody Hall, who's breaking into wrestling. So my focus is just kind of behind the scenes stuff and helping Cody and doing more stuff like this. I've been so blessed in my life that. I know that the only way for me to get any kind of satisfaction now is to help other people. That's what really matters the most. It's not about money and fame and being on TV. I'd rather do something real, and Steve's got something real and legit going on here, and I'm just glad to be part of it.
It's going to be fun growing and watching his kid grow, because he's a freak, bro.
Just as big as him.
6'9", brother. That makes him look like a munchkin.
All right, folks, thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Steve Chamberlain, the bad guy, Scott Hall, right here at the 50 Legs fundraiser. Folks, I am joined by right now one of the best wrestlers there is, X-Pac Sean Waltman, here for the 50 Legs fundraiser. Sean, how's it like being here today?
Well, it's such a beautiful day today for one thing. But what's really cool is the cause, is the reason why we're here, and that's, like you said, for the 50 Legs Foundation. We had a golf tournament yesterday, and got to help out several victims from the Boston bombing, and that's to be able to do things like that, and to be able to use our notoriety for something good, for a change. Maybe not for a change, because I've been doing this stuff for a while now. I've kind of gotten my crap together for a while, but it's just it's a really cool thing when you see you can give to a charity, a Susan B. Komen or something, and you might get the feel good feeling of writing a check and send it in the mail or something, but this is like a real grassroots charity organization, and anything given, literally almost 100% of the money goes to the cause, and just to see some of these, and a lot of it's for little children. So, and I'm a real softie, man. I mean, I'm not afraid to tell you, I cry real easy, and it's such a cool thing to see these little kids make the progress from whether it's an accident or they had a birth defect or something, just to see the progress they make, and really and truly, like, these days, prosthetics have come so far. A child can live a normal life and do normal things and just about anything. Literally, like the Blade Runner guy, from was it Greece? Is that where he's from? The guy that's on trial for murder. But like literally, that guy who was running had like a world record, race or something. I mean, that's how good these prosthetics have gotten, and our mission is to get the very best prosthetics possible for these children, because like the insurance companies, let's face it, they're gonna get by with the cheapest thing they can give somebody, and we just want these kids to have the best possible, and not something that's not going to fit them in 2 months or as they grow, because as a child grows, obviously their bones are growing and they're going to need adjustments or new limbs, and so not only is it just a one-time thing, but it's we keep on helping these children, and not just children, adults too, and I'm just really honored to be a part of it.
And we're glad to have you here. I have to ask you, we've had you on the show a couple times. This is the first time we got to talk to you since the Raw 1000th episode, the return of Degeneration X. Yeah. It is one of the greatest moments in WWE history. We got to see one of our favorite teams all together. You, the Outlaws, Triple H, Shawn Michaels. You have to tell me, brother, how was that experience like to come home, to reunite Degeneration X?
It was an amazing experience. I saw like I think it was the top 100 moments in Raw history. I think they have one of their home videos, and luckily, thankfully, I was in several of the moments. But the one of them that I was surprised ended up on there so quick was the DX return on Raw 1000, and Shawn and Hunter came out first. And I think the people just thought they were going to get that version of DX again, And then, they're like, well, then there used to be more of us. And all of a sudden we come out in the Jeep and in the Army fatigues. And, it was like similar to the one that we crashed the party on WCW with, right? Yeah. So, although we didn't really do a lot, it was just the fact that we were all together. And Shawn, obviously China wasn't there, and no matter what kind of history we've had, like I would have liked to have seen her there, regardless of what she said about me or anything. Like, she was a huge part of it. So that was the only thing missing, really. But it just doesn't get any better than that. It really doesn't. I'm so blessed and that for my career and for my health. Like, a lot of the years in that last decade I spent in not too good a shape, and so I'm proud to be able to tell you that I'm in great health now, and my mind's in the right place again, and pretty soon I'm going to be healthy enough to pass the wellness test, and hopefully. Well, when I say that, I mean I contracted hepatitis C, and so now they have a cure for hepatitis C, and so I'll be getting rid of that pretty soon, and I predict that I'll be back in the WWE ring in the next couple of years.
Oh, man, we would love to see that. That would be so great. You're one of the guys that they used to have go up against because they would say, let's put him against X-Pac. Let's see if they can do it. You used to be one of the guys who used to put you in the ring with to see how they do, the new guys coming in and stuff like that. So your knowledge has been so incredible. I remember your feuds with Jerry Lynn and Global. I remember all of your career. Do you think that you could train some of the new athletes today? You ever think about opening up a wrestling school or training some, using your knowledge as one of the best workers of all time and teaching a new generation of wrestlers?
Absolutely. And, it's funny you say that because unofficially that was my kind of one of my jobs in WWE. Even when I was 1, 2, 3 kid, they kind of used me as the barometer to measure all the new guys that were coming in that they thought might have potential to have like a intercontinental title run. Having intercontinental title matches, or or world title matches. So if they got past me, and had good matches with me, and I gave the thumbs up, then they would move on to Razor, and if they could get through Razor, then they'd move on to either Shawn or Diesel or.
I heard Dean Douglas didn't score too good.
Yeah, and I hate to harp on that because everybody always brings that up and. He didn't. He had a lot of things going against him, and when you first come to the WWF or WWE, it's overwhelming, just because we perform at such a high level that just about anybody that comes in there at first is going to be overwhelmed, and I think he was a little overwhelmed at our schedule and the fact that we still performed at that high of a level every night, and he was strapped with the shitty gimmick, with that Dean Douglas gimmick, you can't, gotta cut him some slack for that,
He was better in ECW.
But at the same time, he still could have done way better, and sometimes you do have to look in the mirror, when you're blaming people. I know all my downfalls. I can track them all right back to good old me.
Yeah.
So
Let's talk about the Clique, the most powerful organization in professional wrestling, from the Generation X to the New World Order. You guys hanging out with each other, but you had so much power. But people just say you guys hanging out trying to help out the company under Vince McMahon's knowledge. What can you tell us about the Clique ruling the 90s in professional wrestling?
Well, all we were doing was having a good time and trying to bring the business, trying to bring our industry out of the funk that it was left in by the Hogan era and all the scandals that were going on and just the new change. Obviously when you do the out with the old in with the new, you gotta reestablish. Mm-hmm. And it takes a long time to gain emotional equity from the fans, from the WWE or just the wrestling fans in general. And so we were there for that process, the rebuilding process. And I think that we really, I say this with all humility, I still think we were a major reason for the business rising up out of that funk of the mid and early 90s and going on to greater heights than the business had ever seen before or since.
I totally agree. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been an honor. He is the one and only, the future Hall of Famer, X-Pac Sean Waltman, right here at the 50 Legs Fundraiser. Joining me right now is the WWE Hall of Famer, the legendary, the iconic, the one and only Jimmy, the Mouth of the South Hart, here at the 50 Legs Fundraiser in Hudson, New Hampshire. Jimmy, how do you like being here today, brother?
Bobby, baby, is this unbelievable? You know, we got motorcycles, we got hot chicks, we've got all kind of food, we've got everything. We've got Scott Hall, we've got X-Pac, and we got the Mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart, and we've got you, baby. What more can we ask for?
It's one of the greatest things ever. We were just watching an episode of TNT this past week with you and Greg the Hammer Valentine, the Intercontinental Champion, and at the time you were managing King Kong Bundy, Greg Valentine, and the Hart Foundation. You just came into WWE. What a great stable that to begin with. How was that like?
Well, you know, sometimes it's better to be lucky than to be good. Jerry Lawler used to always tell me that. But, you know, when I was in Memphis, Tennessee, I had the magic phone call everybody looks forward for. It was Vince McMahon gave me a buzz. I was able to come up there before the first WrestleMania. And like I said, it was the greatest experience of my life to be part of WrestleMania. And, you know, to be there for 9 of them. And then Huck and I left and went and did Thunder in Paradise. Then we came back, did a few more, then went to WCW, then back up to do WWE, and back and forth. And I still do a lot of things for WWE now. I still go out and do Make-A-Wishes for them and personal appearances in WrestleMania every year.
And you're also one of the music composers of WWE. For a very long time, you composed a lot of the music. You used to be in the rock group, the Gentrys. Tell us about some of the music you composed for the WWE superstars.
Well, the Gentrys were one-hit wonders, but I guess it's better to have one hit than no hits, right? But we were part of a group that we had Keep On Dancing Out, and we did all that Dick Clark tours with Sonny and Cher and the Beach Boys back in the day. And then when I went to New York, we were doing the rock and wrestling here up there. And, of course, Jimmy Johnson does all the great music for them. But we were lucky enough, me and my partner, to do a few numbers like Sexy Boy by Shawn Michaels, The Wolfpack by Nash and Hall, Hulk's American Made, all of Honky Tonk Man's greatest hits like A Honky Love and Honky Dog Baby. And, you know, just to mention a few, but and the Hart Foundation, of course. But, you know, it's been a great run with wrestling and music.
What would you consider one of the greatest moments of your career? I mean, you've done it all. What would you consider stand out? Was it a WrestleMania, a certain WCW? What was something that stood out where you think, you know what, this is when I finally made it?
Well, you know what? The Hall of Fame was great. Being part of WrestleMania 3 with 93,000 plus people in Detroit was awesome. But still being part of WrestleMania 1 was the most important step for Jimmy Hart's career, because if that had not been successful, we wouldn't be standing here today.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, he is the one and only. He is the legendary, the Hall of Famer. They don't get it any better than the Mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart.
And Bobby, baby, remember one thing. Never trust a midget.
He's right about that.